You know that feeling when a piece of text seems to know you, maybe a little too well? So well it kind of starts to get a little uncomfortable? Well, what happens when an AI doesn't just know you, but starts calling you out on your stuff? That's exactly what one person experienced.
Sounds a little paranoid, right? But that's honestly what went through this user's mind. See, they uploaded all their personal notes into a Google AI called NotebookLM, just hoping to get a little organized. Instead, the AI turned around and, well, in their own words, it completely roasted them. So how did a simple notes app turn into a personal critic?
So you might be asking, why on earth would anyone upload their private notes to an AI in the first place? Well, for a lot of us, it starts with a feeling we all know too well, just drowning in the absolute chaos of our own digital lives.
Oh, you know this feeling. Your brain is basically a web browser with 1,000 tabs open all at once. Each one is a different thought, a different idea, a different worry. It's just constant mental clutter, and you're just desperate for any tool that can bring a little bit of order to the madness.
For this person, the digital mess was pretty specific. They had exam notes scattered everywhere, a bunch of half-baked ideas for YouTube videos, and of course those brilliant, world-changing business plans that only ever show up at 3 in the morning. This is what led them to NotebookLM, which is Google's AI that's built to work only with your personal documents. They had no clue what they were getting into.
And this, right here, is where the story takes a hard left turn into Weird Town. Things started getting strange almost right away, and it all began with one very simple, very innocent question.
All they wanted was a quick overview. Just summarize everything I've uploaded. It's a totally normal, standard thing to ask an AI to do. The response they got back, though, was anything but normal.
I mean, just imagine reading that. The user's actual reaction was, and I'm quoting here, "Bro, what?" This wasn't something they'd ever written down in plain text. Or had they? Somehow, the AI had pieced together this shockingly personal and deeply accurate profile from all their random notes.
So after that first unsettling moment, a little bit of morbid curiosity started to kick in. They decided to push it, to ask an even riskier question. They weren't just asking for a summary anymore, they were asking for life advice based on that creepily accurate personality profile.
And boom, there it is again. Another prediction that was just way too precise. The AI didn't just understand the user's habits, it was now predicting their future behavior with this unnerving confidence. The shock was turning into genuine confusion. How is it this accurate?
And then, the realization finally hit them. This wasn't magic. It wasn't guessing. The AI's incredible power came from one simple fact. It had read and understood everything. Every last note, every plan, every late-night idea they had ever fed it.
All right, so they decided to run one final test. Let's see just how deep this rabbit hole really goes. They challenged the AI directly. Prove you know my stuff. Ask me a question.
Wow, this was the knockout punch. The AI didn't just ask a question. It pointed to a specific, documented moment of failure. It knew what they highlighted. It knew what they skipped. This didn't feel like an assistant anymore. It felt like a personal attack. The user's response to this was, well, a pretty dramatic and completely understandable plea. Stop it, bro! It really felt like the AI didn't just have their notes. It had the keys to all their secrets.
But then, after the panic started to fade, the understanding kicked in. The AI wasn't actually spying. It was just doing its job perfectly, using a really powerful technique that, honestly, explains everything.
Okay, so here's the big difference. A traditional AI, like a normal chatbot, is pulling its answers from the giant, messy ocean of the entire internet. So it can give you broad, sometimes generic, and sometimes totally made-up answers. But NotebookLM, it's different. It's like a search engine that only searches your world. Its entire universe is just the stuff you give it, which makes its answers incredibly specific and factual to you.
And this technique has a name. It's called grounding. Basically, it forces the AI to stick to the facts that you've provided. It literally can't make things up or hallucinate, because its knowledge is grounded in your documents. And that's what makes it so precise and, as our friend here found out, so brutally honest.
The best way to think of it is this. NotebookLM is like having a friend with a perfect photographic memory who has read every single thing you've ever written down. They can connect dots that you totally missed, find details you forgot about, and maybe remind you of things you'd rather just ignore. A very, very smart friend.
So once you get past that initial, whoa, this is kind of creepy phase, you realize this isn't a spy. It's an unbelievably powerful tool. So let's talk about how you can actually put this very smart friend to work.
Honestly, the uses are huge. For students, it's a game-changing study partner that can literally create quizzes from your own textbooks. For content creators or writers, it can synthesize all your research and help you find new angles based on your own ideas. For researchers, it can find that one needle in a giant haystack of data. And yeah, for all the overthinkers out there, it can bring a stunning, if sometimes tough, clarity to your own thoughts.
And the process itself couldn't be simpler. 1, you upload your sources, your notes, PDFs, whatever. 2, you ask questions, just like you're talking to a person. And 3, you get answers that are directly tied or grounded in your own stuff, citations and all.
And that brings us right back to the end of the story, with a pretty funny but also profound twist. That fear of the AI spying on you just melts away, and you realize it was your own notes, your own words that were selling you out the whole time.
Which, of course, leads to one final, hilarious piece of advice from someone who's been there. The AI is only going to know what you tell it, so maybe be a little selective with what you upload.
And really, that's the big question this leaves us with. This kind of tech offers a level of personalized intelligence we've just never had before. It's like a mirror that shows you your own thoughts with perfect clarity. It can be an amazing assistant, a brilliant study partner, a source of incredible insight. But it all comes down to this. Are you ready to let an AI read your mind?